Unstoppable. This guy, Donald Trump, is unstoppable. He will not be. He will not be deterred. He will not be derailed, and he will not allow this to scare him. If this does not prove to people, every single person in the United States of America, that this guy, he's not doing this for power. That's what I hear.
He needs a bubble wherever he goes.
Exactly. You have to see that he knows that he is needed and he's not going to stop. So he literally is putting his life on the line every single day so that he can get back in and get things back on track.
Hey guys, welcome into cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret, Projo in the house. Glad you're with us today. September 16th on a Monday. We're here Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays live from 9 to about 10ish, the fastest hour plus in podcasting. News headlines, politics, cancel culture, education, water cooler talk, you name it. We do it. Lots to go and talk about today, as there is on Mondays all the time. Mondays are always packed. We are grateful. If you want to get involved, advertise, let us know. Contact us if you know of somebody else that would want to advertise. Also, if you want to make a donation, you can do that on our website. We have a little menu there. We are grateful. Anything helps us continue to do what we're doing. Okay. We've got a Trump assassination, again, attempt to talk about. Unfortunately, it's there. Go figure. A lot of controversy surrounding the person that tried to do it as well. And his connections, the stuff just doesn't stop. Over and over and over and over and over and over again. It continues to happen. More fake accents from Kamala Harris as she travels the country. No surprise with that. You know what you're going to get. Also, when it comes to what's happening, a big story in the St. Louis area too, and we'll get into it in just a second. The owner of 1stPhorm with some controversial comments about police officers, getting back to that damn Tyreek video, which what Tyreek Hill, the Miami Dolphins wide receiver, and how that whole traffic stop went down. We'll talk a little bit about that. We've got more politics to get into as well. It just, the show's going to fly by as it normally does. So from that standpoint, let's just get right into it. The comments that were made on, it's Andy Frisella, owner of 1stPhorm, super successful business, supplements throughout the Midwest. They're massive throughout the Midwest. So our listeners around the country may not know who it is or what it is, but he made comments about female police officers, and he's entitled his opinion. He has a massive podcast, super popular. He and his team have been, they've literally put the groundwork in place on how to run a business from start to where they are now. He created the 75 Hard, this company created, which has been super popular, not only in Missouri and around the country, but across the world. And anytime, as you know, when you're on podcast, and you're trying to be hard and you may say some things that you regret. I've said some things here that I regret.
Yeah.
I've asked Megan, am I too hard? She's like, I think sometimes you're too hard on Democrats. Mm-hmm. And just maybe I've asked you and you agreed, maybe just some different wording. So it's easy to just go out there. So he made some comments and he has since apologized, but we were getting blown up by emails from everybody. Just like to cover it. It's no fun being in a situation like that.
No,
ever.
It's not.
Ever. Glenn says he's on day 5 of 75 Hard. I have another friend who's on 14. Megan asked me, I don't know, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, would you do 75 Hard with me?
Yeah.
I'm like, sure.
It's tough.
I would do. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Right when he first started it.
Did you finish all 75 days?
Of course.
And how did it go?
It was good. But it was, it was in the height of, when I was doing a lot of, training, and I was
but
doing
you look great now
and stuff like that. Well, thanks. I don't put as much into weight training as I used to. It's just, it kills me. It's just, I know a lot of people, they need it. I need running. I need stretching.
But as you get older,
I know
weights, it's about weights and diet.
Yep.
Walking. I stopped running because of it.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit older than you.
See, running is good for my mental state.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I get
for
you.
Sure.
I get it.
Yeah.
Well, here's what Andy said in his podcast last week. I think it was Thursday. So we can talk about it and just let it be where it is and go from there. The reason why it became a big deal on top of is because 2 St. Louis police organizations have now dropped him. They have no ties with him anymore. And Andy and 1stPhorm do as much, if not more, for police than anybody.
Yeah.
Which is why it's an unfortunate situation. But this is about what happened during that traffic stop with Tyreek Hill last week. I disagree. I thought Tyreek Hill was the aggressor, and then I felt like police really went overboard and did some things that they shouldn't have done.
Well, but again, it's cause and effect.
And so, here's Andy.
You guys can't just go around fucking forcing your shit on everybody like you're the goddamn fucking Gestapo.
No, badge and gun doesn't make you
and I think that's where people get pissed, bro, because there's a lot of police officers, and to be completely honest, especially women police officers who fucking try to emasculate men. They try to make men feel like they're being dominated or they're being, they have power over them. And bro, the quickest way to escalate a situation is to do that to a grown man. And that's why that's why, in my opinion, women shouldn't be in the fucking field and police officers. I just don't think they should be. Every woman cop I've ever dealt with, every single one that I've ever been pulled over by tried to make me feel like a fucking bitch.
No.
That's not a way to de-escalate a situation.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Especially when you know that if that person didn't have a badge or a gun, you could punch a hole through their fucking face and end their life. And they're talking to you like you're a fucking piece of shit. And that's where I do see police officers with the black men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They talk to them like they're dog shit. They, and like, dude, there's a lot. I guess what I'm saying is there's fault on everybody, and we need to fix it because we need civility in society.
100%.
And it doesn't matter.
So police organizations are now disassociating themselves with him because of him saying that no woman should ever be a cop. And you heard everything else. Now, Andy after the blowback, he did a question and answer session on Saturday. He's apologized. He said it isn't him. And now they'll kind of go about and see where they're going to go from that standpoint. The police organizations did respond. They said, let's see here. Many of you are aware of hateful comments made by Andy Frisella with 1stPhorm. His comments were disturbing, and despite his attempts to retract them, we are severing our relationship with his company. That was a statement from St. Louis County Police Chief Kenneth Gregory, and then St. Louis City followed suit with the same thing. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that him feeling emasculated and, belittled by a woman of authority, I think that there may be a little bit more to that, because I don't think that, all men are going to feel like they've been emasculated. Are they going to be mad that they're been pulled over for whatever the reason is? Absolutely. But if you're capable or able of feeling that way, I think that there might be something else going on. But I mean, I think it's just a really broad statement to say that women should not be in law enforcement. I don't think that that's right or fair, at all, because a lot of those women would, be able to kick the crud out of their co-workers, the male police officers. A lot of them are faster, quicker, can react on a dime. I mean, there's a lot to be said for female police officers. Are they going to be as big? Well, of course not, because remember, there is a difference between man and woman. So I don't know. I think that it was a broad statement. And I think that, a lot of people just need to start realizing that if there is an authority figure at that time, just be respectful. And if they're making you feel like less than a man, then I think that there's probably some self-reflection that you need to do when the situation is over. Do we all say things when we're upset? Absolutely. Do we all say things that we don't necessarily mean? I think so. But he really hurt a lot of female and male, officers. I think that, they really took it to heart. And the women in St. Louis County made it very clear to their boss that they would not be, spoken to about like that. And they said that there's no room for an apology in this situation. That they are really trying to make a stance and have their voices be heard in this situation. So that's what they ended up doing. So they went ahead and severed their relationship. So
when things happen, it's really big at first. I mean, maybe things will change in 6 months. I do. It's unfortunate because I do know how much money is raised by 1stPhorm for police, especially when police need more money. Yeah. So We addressed it because so many people were blowing us up about the situation over the weekend. I mean, literally 8, 9 different messages that we had received. So that's why,
well, I can't even believe, as soon as I open up my social media, I mean, there are people that I didn't even know that, I'd never realized that they even paid attention to him or the fitness industry, and they're posting about it. And I mean, it is post after post after post. And I'm like, wow, people are really, really upset about this. So,
well, it brings up a bigger question, not just comments that are made. Comments are made. People make comments all the time. People say things that they go back and they apologize for. Like I said, all of us have been there, as you said as well, Megan. The thing I'm interested in too is the fact women can be police officers, right? That's the question. I think trying to make something more out of it. I feel as if women can definitely be police officers. Do women have the same strength all the time as men? Are they made biologically the same as men? No, they're not. Mm-hmm. Some are amazing. Some are amazing in different areas. I also know some men officers who are not. I mean, there's certain qualifications you have to meet, but I think men and women can both be police officers.
Well, as you guys know, I was just a few months away from actually being an officer. And so
I didn't know that.
Yes, you did. Vic, come on.
She has told us that.
But when was this?
2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, which brings
but
to my point.
You weren't going to be a St. Louis County cop.
City. I was in the city. Yeah. So I was, and this is why I'm saying
you're a badass.
So not only was I the oldest in my recruit class, I was one of 5 women, and I was number 2 in all of our training. So number 2, me, I mean, and the stuff that we had to do was absolutely incredible down there. I mean, the physical training that we had to do, we had to run 3 miles under a certain time. We had to shoot with our right hand. We had to shoot with our left hand after we just drug a 150-pound body, which is, just a bag. But I was number 2. I mean, I was kicking these kids' butts in there, and they all thought it was awesome. They thought it was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I finished with the second best time in all of our training. You're right where you
should be right now.
So I know. Trust me. But yeah, I mean, so women can, do great things, and they can, they can drag a 150-pound bag and quick and shoot and jump. And
you just have to have qualified people, not, as Glenn says from the chat line, not the female or the Secret Service that President Trump had on his first assassination attempt, as we saw what happened there. Because unfortunately, video that day showed that there were some B team people there that should not have been there, that did not look as if they were really taking care of Donald Trump, which was a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, you just, like you said, you just have to be qualified. Everybody, there should not be DEI, even for police officers. You should not hire a woman if she is not qualified. I mean, that's just common sense.
Greg says we need to start a new show called Beauty and the Badge.
Yes.
with Megan.
Greg, you can send me some of your AI with me in my uniform. So
hopefully there's a way that somehow, some way there's, I'm all about reconciliation.
Yes.
The police need that support, and hopefully there's a way that they can get back in time. I do believe time can heal a lot. Sometimes time can heal all. As a matter of fact, time is an amazing healer. That is for sure. So
yes.
We'll see where that goes. One thing that really pissed me off, and I know it pissed off a lot of people in America, a second attempt on Donald Trump's life yesterday at a golf course. And it's not just the attempt. It's how did this guy get within 300 or 400 yards of Donald Trump again? Second of all, his connections, which we'll get into. And then Glenn says he'll let you handcuff him. Okay. Thank you, Glenn, for your humor.
Oh my goodness.
By the way, we have the People's Podcast platform if you want to jump on through one of our variety of areas to watch via live, Facebook, Rumble, X, just a few of the spots where you can watch us live. And of course, we have our content on all of our social media platforms every single day, new content coming to you. And if you're not following us on one of those sites, please do follow, like, subscribe, share the show, let people know what we have going on. But this guy, we're showing you pictures of him now. This is the guy that had the attempt. He's not talking. He had an AK-47 that he was trying to. I mean, all of these shooters, they're all wacky and they all look weird. I'm sorry, they just do. And
before they released even his name yesterday, and obviously his picture, the first thing I said was, "I'll bet you it's some dude with blue hair."
Yeah, this guy's had crazy hair.
I said that, and I cannot believe that when they released it, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, he was interviewed by Newsweek. The video that we're showing people right now who are listening on the podcast from 2022. The whole thing just seems like a weird setup. It's just, the whole thing is just wrong. He's too far connected to so many people, Megan. For instance, and example, I want to show you, he's in custody, by the way. Thankfully, somebody saw him get into a black truck, take off. They got the license plate. They found him pretty quickly. He's not talking. No surprise there. But Joe, if you can play this commercial, this guy was also, he went to Ukraine to fight for Ukraine. There's connections here. Then this commercial that we're showing you about, quote, Ukraine was put together by BlackRock. And he is in the commercial. Look at this.
Post of the action is to appeal to board leaders.
There he is.
Organization. Post of the action.
Okay, you saw him. I don't even like to say his name, but there he is. Okay. Yep. All of this just has a weird connection to it. This is not a Trump setup to get people to feel sorry for him again. I didn't think that anything would happen again to Donald Trump or even get close enough to happening.
I didn't either.
And I was wrong.
And another BlackRock connection to another shooter of an assassination attempt.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it how this stuff can continue to happen.
Both shooters in a BlackRock advertisement. I don't know what the chances are in that, but there has got to be some kind of correlation. There just has to be. There's no way.
We need to talk to that company that does odds for betting money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what are the
odds
chances?
of that? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just think that I think that the most shocking part about this is that it was a last minute decision for Donald Trump to go and play golf when he did. So either this guy just hangs out in the bushes at this golf course on a regular basis and just crosses his finger and waits and hopes.
No, he knew.
Exactly. Or
already know it.
Someone let him in on it. Now, he could sit outside of Mar-a-Lago and follow the guy as well. There's just so many, different things. And hopefully, eventually, he will talk. As of right now, they said he is not talking at all. But this guy, Ryan Roth, is 58 years old, and he has a criminal record. He has a felony count of possession of a weapon of mass destruction, a machine gun, in fact.
Yeah, AK-47.
He is mentally off. In the past, he had a 3-hour standoff with police where he barricaded himself inside of his business. He owned a roofing business. Then he moved to Hawaii in 2018. But he has a regular, he regularly visits Washington, D.C. He is trying to push bills through that would allow him to recruit Afghani people from the Taliban to go and fight in Ukraine. So he has actually literally tried to make legislation happen for this. He thinks that he is the man for the job to go and recruit all of these terrorists to go and fight in Ukraine. So we know that the guy is not well. That's a fact. He has been said to. He said that he voted. He normally votes Democrat. He voted for Donald Trump in 2016 and regrets it. He says that he regrets it. He, has a social media presence and talks about his disdain for President Trump, that he feels like we are in a place right now where our democracy is, being threatened. That we shouldn't be surprised at that when you have people like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz talking about how, Donald Trump wants to be a dictator on day one. And that's not it. And when you go back and you watch the debate, like you guys know, I was upset about the debate last week. I was upset about all of the lies that Kamala Harris told, one right after another.
Yeah, but Trump and the down the middle polling with Rasmussen and so forth, not all the other weird polling that's all TV related. His lead was back up again by Saturday.
It is. And I'm so grateful for that. And
by polling that is not biased with connected to local TV networks.
Yeah.
You can't trust TV networks.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Well, and I think that
you shouldn't have been upset. So not to interrupt you too much.
Well, I was upset because because of this reason, I think that it's really irresponsible for her to get up and tell the American people lies. Like I said, I feel like she was grooming the American people, lying to them, looking at them in the face. I mean, it was lie after lie after lie. And when you have people that are not well mentally, like this gentleman, it's no surprise that they're going to go out and try to kill this person. So they are the ones. And then Biden actually was alive and well. We had a proof of life this morning when he was leaving the White House. And he said, that there's no room for political violence or any kind of violence at all in this country, that the political rhetoric needs to be toned down. He's the one who started all of this, in my opinion. For the last year, he has done nothing but try and make Donald Trump like the new Hitler. And Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are right behind him, and they're doing the exact same thing. And you know who else is doing it? Mainstream media. They are the ones that are up there and trying to make him look, like a man that he is not. And when you are only hearing this one side, you're going to get all the nut jobs are going to come out of the woodworks.
Well, just remember that this is not going to be easy, and there's going to be more that happens before November. We already know this. We've been saying this for over a year, and that the attacks, the lies, there is a massive play to try to keep Donald Trump away from the White House. We've talked about it. I felt like we were some of the first people to do that because we were jumping in on Vivek, as we said, and then some of the other information, it just made sense. Things were adding up. Okay, this is what's going to happen. Let the Democrats do what they're going to do, and we're going to let Republicans feel comfortable. We're going to let them, no, Trump's got through this. Trump's got through that. No, it's not going to stop. It's continuing. And on top of this entire situation, with another attempt on Donald Trump's life on a freaking golf course on a Sunday afternoon, on a weekend again, then you have, at the end of last week, it came out, I think, Thursday afternoon. It became a bigger story Friday and through the weekend, was an ABC whistleblower coming out now, signing affidavits, yet taking an oath that Kamala Harris's campaign was given advanced questions. Now, some of you may have already heard this if you've done your research. Some of you may not. National media won't cover it. Of course they won't. You already know. We don't have to tell you. Local news and national news does not have your back when it comes to news. They don't. They won't cover these stories. So the whistleblower has come full for getting a lot more credibility. Not only were the questions allegedly given in advance, but you had Lindsay, the moderator, coming up and saying, you better damn well believe that we were doing all the fact checking, and literally admitting that they were going after Trump after the fact. This is why you can't trust polling from ABC. You can't trust anything from ABC. Yeah. As I told you last week, pictures have now surfaced, of course, with the CEO of ABC News Network, great friends with Kamala Harris. Yeah. Lindsay and Kamala, sorority sisters. This is why I didn't like Donald Trump doing this, because it was a setup, but it didn't hurt him. But it didn't hurt him. It didn't hurt him. That's the biggest thing. It did not hurt him.
Yeah.
You're fine. That's why I was always like, Megan, stay positive.
I know.
Stay positive on it. Who knows? There's going to be a lot of things that happen or attempted things to Donald Trump before this election on November 5th.
Well, and who knows of the other instances where something, was, foiled before they got to him. I mean, there could have been, so many times where something like this happened and they were able to get to it before it even got this far, before someone even got to put a gun inside of a chain link fence. actually get aim on him. There's probably a lot of different instances, but we have brains the size of a pea right now. And so, we seem to forget things so quickly.
We do. Because so much happens.
Yes. So the debate for many people is here and gone, which I'm grateful for, to be honest with you.
And don't listen to crazy posts out there. I mean, there was also a post that the ABC whistleblower was killed in a car crash. I couldn't find any verification of that. And then, of course, Democrats have fun with it and say, well, the whistleblower was killed in a car crash and then body was eaten by Haitians.
Yes.
Just because, and then obviously from our chat line, somebody said the moderators were fired from ABC. Hell, if anything, those moderators were given massive raises for the job that they did in regards to being unjournalistic, which is exactly where they were that day.
Yeah. Well, in this affidavit from this employee at ABC specifically points out every single thing that happened for that debate, the questions that they were not allowed to ask, the questions that they were told to ask, the fact checking that was supposed to be done. Everything was, put in bullet points. And this person, I don't even know if it's a male or female because the name is scratched out on the affidavit, but they were wise enough to make sure that in this affidavit, that they sent it to themselves. They sent it to other people because they knew that that this person was going to be sought after, and everything that they were saying was going to be, try to be diminished and not heard. So they really took the time to make sure, that they sent this many different places. They sent it to Speaker Mike Johnson. So hopefully this will be looked into. Well, it already is. It's being investigated right now, but you're not going to hear that on mainstream media. But just to read the affidavit is just shocking, because this person is willing to put themselves on the line. And also in this affidavit, the person says, I by no means support Donald Trump. I am not endorsing him. It has nothing to do with this. But this person has been an employee there since the late 90s, I believe, and has just said that, look, I mean, I'm working for this company that has gone completely nutso and is completely biased. And what I witnessed and what I saw happen for this last debate cannot happen in a democratic country.
Well, you need whistleblowers. That's why there needs to be protection for any sort of a whistleblower. And it's not just ABC, it's all mainstream media. I have ripped Lester Holt because he is a sellout and the things that he has said. Lester Holt on NBC News, listen to what he had to say after this attempt. And then listen to what he had to say after this attempt on Donald Trump's life again. And keep in mind, Lester Holt saying this about Donald Trump.
Amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself, Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio. The apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio.
Okay, do you see how they're framing it? As I said, I was in media for 25 years. It is evil. It is flat out evil what they do. This man just had his life again put on the line for the second time, and they're blaming, shame on you, Lester, shame on you, NBC. They're blaming Trump, saying it's his rhetoric and J.D. Vance's rhetoric. They're saying that their rhetoric is why there's attempts on his life.
Yeah, and
yes, even that, like I said, the media, it's state-run media. It is communist all the way. It is deep state that even Democrats talk about, and it's not going away. And the fact that Democrats like it shows you who they are, which is why it's the country that we live in.
Yeah. Well, and last week we talked about these immigrants in Ohio that were, eating people's pets. And I even said to you guys, I was like, hey, we've seen body cam of police officers going, and a lot of people on the chat line were like, what? Wow. And then after the show, I probably got 20 different people sending me that clip. So for someone like Lester Holt to come out and say that these guys are lying about you know, what is happening? You're calling the American people liars. You're calling the police officers with the body cams liars. You're calling these residents in these communities liars. Why? I mean, does it sound like it's made up? Yes, it does. But so does a Venezuelan gang coming in and taking over apartment buildings in Colorado. A lot of it sounds made up, too hard to believe, but it's happening.
Hotels in El Paso right now as well, in Texas.
Yes, and we said that last week on the show too. We said it is not, it's going to keep happening, and it's not going to just be in, you know, Colorado and Ohio. These things are going to keep happening, and it seems completely outlandish, but it is. I mean, this is exactly what's happening. So people need to start being really careful on mainstream media about what they're saying, and what they're saying is not true and what is true.
Not only from a television standpoint, because some people that's true rhetoric, they'll repeat the rhetoric, but also digital. When you see things pop up on your phone, your laptop, be careful. The normal websites, like you can't trust what you see with headlines. Yeah. You just can't. And even when you read the stories, sometimes they're very difficult. When it comes to Donald Trump, everything changes. We've never seen, and I'm going to go out on a limb, maybe, we've never seen a more polarizing figure in our lifetime in the United States of America. Name another one who is more polarizing than Donald Trump that we have seen in our lifetime when you consider everything that's going on. And that's why the left, that's why the deep state, the New World Order will not stop until Donald Trump is done away with, one way or the other. And if by chance Donald Trump is elected president, that's when the new battle begins. And that's why it's so important that the Republicans take the House and the Senate as well, so that we can be protected for a little bit longer time. Mm-hmm. But this is all about good and evil, as we've seen from the get-go. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who get misled and their pride gets in the way, because we all know that Donald Trump was nothing but one of the best presidents we've ever had. And he would just utilize his power to hurt people. But there are people who believe that stuff. That's the kind of mental illness that people are dealing with right now when it comes to Donald Trump.
Yeah. And people keep talking about Obama. Can you imagine if these assassination attempts were on someone like Barack Obama or Kamala Harris or Joe Biden? Heads would be rolling. I cannot even imagine. Megan.
Where's the next investigation on this assassination attempt? Much less the first one has not really even gotten started yet.
No, I mean,
last week we showed Melania Trump begging for information and help from the DOJ to get to the bottom of who that shooter was talking to and in communications with, who we still don't know. And of course, Dan Bongino did an amazing job of breaking that down.
Yeah. Well, and so you've got Director Wray coming forward from the FBI and saying that there are many, many threats. Not just made on Donald Trump, but a lot of different people coming from Iran, coming from within our country. He said that there are direct threats. The threat level is high. Well, with the threat level being high and already an assassination attempt taken on Donald Trump, and let's not forget that someone's life was taken from this attempt on Donald Trump's life.
Great point.
So we have that in mind. So when I hear someone like the sheriff in Florida yesterday, you know, he's getting praised because he's coming forward and being honest with people, and he's doing, you know, these pressers quickly and letting people know things that are happening right away. But something that he said yesterday did not set well with me. And I don't know if it did for you all. But when he said, he's like, look, Donald Trump is not the sitting president. So he's not going to get the same kind of, you know, security. Is he correct? Yes, he is. He is not the sitting president. He is a former president. And typically you don't get the same kind of security. But when you have someone like Director Wray that is saying that he is at a heightened threat level and he's already had an attempt on his life once before, wouldn't you think that things might change? You kind of just change with how things are flowing. So when he said that yesterday, it made it sound to me like, look, he's just a guy, you know, no big deal. He's not going to get the same kind of security. Well, as far as I know, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, these people, they have not had the same kind of attempts on their life. So why wouldn't they change things up? Is it going to take this for another assassination attempt, or is it going to take number 3 for him to get the kind of security that he deserves? Even Joe Biden said, and he even said that this morning as well, we have to get him better security. Whether or not he means that or not, I don't know.
We're under 2 months away from the election.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of things that just don't set well with me. And like you said, with Melania Trump coming out and basically just saying, like, my husband, like my child's father, you know, his life was almost taken. What's it going to take? And here we are again, talking about the exact same
I mean, it gives me chills. The BlackRock commercial, the shooter in the the assassination attempt suspect in the BlackRock commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like an actor, another one of these actor people. And that's why I'm like, what the hell is going on? How can this stuff continuing to be happening? We've said, don't be surprised at what happens in 2024 leading into this election. But even while I'm saying it, it still makes me go, holy crap, we predicted it and it's still here. I mean, I saw another story yesterday in Oregon. Their DMV came out and said, oh yeah, we made a mistake. Tens of thousands of illegals that have been they've given voting licenses to at the DMV. They've given them licenses to go vote. They've made them citizens. Oh yeah, we made a mistake. And I'm like, really? And that stuff just flies because people don't care enough. They really don't care enough. When it comes to the assassination attempt, Donald Trump on Truth Social came out and said that he would like to thank everyone for their concern and well wishes. He said it was certainly an interesting day. Most importantly, I want to thank the U.S. Secret Service, Sheriff Rick Bradshaw and his office for the brave and dedicated patriots, and all of law enforcement for the incredible job done today at Trump International in keeping me as the 45th president of the United States and the Republican nominee in the upcoming presidential election safe. The job done was absolutely outstanding. I am very proud to be an American. End quote, Donald Trump.
Unstoppable, this guy. Donald Trump is unstoppable. He will not be deterred. He will not be derailed, and he will not allow this to scare him. If this does not prove to people, every single person in the United States of America, that this guy, he's not doing this for power. That's what I hear.
He needs a bubble wherever he goes.
Exactly. You have to see that he knows that he is needed and he's not going to stop. So he literally is putting his life on the line every single day so that he can get back in and get things back on track. He's unbelievable. He made a remark that right after he apparently he got into the golf club. The Secret Service took him, threw him on a golf cart, laid on top of him, got him back to the clubhouse, and he got in. And they said all he wanted to do was make sure that the people that he knew that he was golfing with that day were safe. That was his first and main concern. When he realized that everyone was safe, he made the comment that he was really ticked because he was on a hole. He said something about a birdie, and he was just mad that he didn't get to finish that hole. So the guy is just is so positive, and you just wish that everybody could see that side, because he truly is remarkable. You know, he hops up after he's been shot, in Pennsylvania, and says, fight, fight, fight. And all he wants to do is let everybody know that he's okay. And that's what he wanted everybody to know, like on Truth Social, like, I'm okay.
Well, we know that conservatives are not crazy, wild people. They're just not. The Democrats are the ones that go out to the streets and do crazy shit all the time. And don't even bring up J6 because we know that was a fake, phony setup deal. And we've seen the Democrats in every city go crazy and insane, not be able to control themselves, not be able to protest in an orderly way or a legal way. But I do believe if one of these attempts were ever successful, that we would have people. I think it would be one of those situations where you'd have conservatives out protesting finally. Mm-hmm. If one of these bullets were to actually hit Donald Trump and unalive him. I do. Mm-hmm. And from the chat line, people bringing up fighting, bringing up BlackRock again. All of these things happening as well. Chris says with an interesting point, remember when talking about assassinations and actors, John Wilkes Booth was also an actor as well.
Gosh, I forgot about that.
Very, very interesting. Mm-hmm. Your media journalists used lightly. Actors, that's what they are. They're actors. They're script readers. That was one of them. I get it.
Hey, I want to read to you. This is how close this Ryan Roth guy is to Washington. When Roth was in Washington last year, he told The Times over the phone about a diplomat who thought his efforts to help Ukraine would be successful. But when a U.S. fighter, so when a U.S. military appeared to talk down to him in a message shared with the paper, Roth said that the fighter needed to be shot. Roth told The Times that he was in Washington to meet with the U.S. Commission on Security and Cooperation in Europe to argue for more backing in Ukraine. Hey, this guy is nuts.
Kind of sounds like Mark Harris.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think Mark Harris though would have the guts to go fight though. Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, yeah. So if this just goes to show, I mean, he's connected there, and in what exact way, I'm not sure. But the guy is unhinged. But he's got relationships with people in Washington. So hopefully we'll get some more clarification on that.
It's all just a big freaking mess, but everything ties together. Mm-hmm. It does. The more things appear to be confusing, the more they really aren't. A connects to B, B connects to C. There are things going on, and you're not a conspiracy theorist, and nothing's wrong with you for not trusting what's happening, because we already know you can't trust the government. And Ronald Reagan's been telling us that since the 80s. You can't. Yeah. It is there. You are intelligent. Do not doubt yourself, especially when we see everything happening with Trump. The only thing that concerns me is the fact that Americans have been so inundated with media messages and this and that. It's almost become like a sitcom. Oh, what's going on with Trump? Oh, he's shot at again. It's like, it's not real. But we're actually talking about life and death, not only of a person, but a country. Mm-hmm. And so many more serious things that are going on. And we haven't even touched upon the economy and some of the things that are happening there when it comes to Warren Buffett pulling out large percentages of large sums of money, which make you go, why is he pulling a large majority of his money out of the market?
Yep.
Is the market crash going to come sooner rather than later? How does Trump play into this? The election in a month and a half. That's why we do the show that we do and the study that we do, and appreciate and welcome all of you in to that podcast platform every day, because there's a lot going on. And Americans just get inundated with all of this and just go, oh, okay, well, what can I really do? Let me go have my latte.
Well, I'm about to pull a Fani Willis and go get my cash out of the bank and stick it in my mattress. Because after I saw what Warren Buffett was going to do, I was like, oh man.
People haven't seen that.
I mean, he's brilliant with his money. He's literally just, swimming in his money. And so for him to go and start pulling money out, something is, and we all know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. But in regards to that too, with the Ukraine situation too, I mean, we were talking about BlackRock and the shooter, or this guy that was trying to shoot Donald Trump yesterday. Not only was he in the BlackRock commercial, but then you see that BlackRock now signed the largest deal in Ukraine to essentially, they're going to own the country's market now. Ukraine. BlackRock is now in Ukraine. You see how everything starts to tie together? Mm-hmm. Then the shooter in BlackRock commercials, the shooter also connected to Ukraine, going in there trying to fight for Ukraine. And guys, it's you can't make it up. It's a Hollywood script, but it's all real. Well, and that's just it. It is so hard to believe and to imagine, but it is happening. And there are so many connections that it just really makes you wonder. And I keep going back to the deal with the border, with the deal that Biden brought to Congress that he didn't need to do. And I know that I talk about this a lot, but there are just so many connections. When he came and said, look, we got to close the border, or we have to change border security, is what he said. He never said he wanted to close the border. And, he couldn't get it passed through Congress because, well, Congress knew, but, mainstream media didn't talk about that there was an additional part to this bill that said we need to send more money to Ukraine. There is so much going on that people really, really need to stop and think about. And is it sad to watch everything happening in Ukraine? Yes, it is. Is it sad to watch innocent lives taken? Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. It's the same for Russia. There are Russian children that are being killed by the hundreds of thousands. There are Russian women. These are a lot of innocent people. We could talk about the Middle East too. But there's a lot more going on than people want to realize. And as soon as people start to understand that Ukraine may not be this poor little country that America needs to, hold its hand and take care of and make sure that nothing happens to it. There's a lot about Ukraine that people don't know. One of them being that there are resources there within Ukraine that everybody wants. That's why Russia goes in. That's why America is, trying to do what it can to take care of them. There's a reason that we keep sending money in left and right, even though they're not a part of NATO.
Yeah, Jeannie says nobody talks about Russian children or feeling sorry for them. It's all connected. It's all dirty, just like we were talking about with the debates. I mean, Lindsay Davis, like I said, admitted the fact that she and their team were only fact-checking Donald Trump. They said they were only going to fact-check him. And it's like, yeah, we should, and they want you to accept these kinds of things that are out there. That's what blows my mind. And then you have the cackling idiot fool. I'm sorry, I said idiot. Idiotic. Okay, I got to have like a jar, like the cuss jar when people cuss.
Yeah, I'll put one right here.
I'm not going to use the word idiot anymore.
Well,
her idiotic
have you put a
behavior.
dollar in there.
Kamala Harris was back acting the fool again this weekend, like she was drunk again after the debate, using, I think, her 10th different accent to try to, I don't know this. I don't know if I feel worse for her, for the people that just sit there and go, oh yeah, to have them played. But listen to Kamala Harris's newest accent, whatever this is. And you can look at that face. That's when you know she's lost it. Gary says, Vic, don't worry. She is an idiot. The dots are connecting. Here she goes. Here's your fake acting presidential nominee for the Democratic Party.
Let me just say about Joe Biden. I have.
There she is. She's back. He is so
Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters. And my soror. And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let me just
look at Kamala in her sparkly dress. I've never seen the gal in a dress. Maybe it's not a dress. Maybe it stops.
Obama's going to get her back in, whoop her, and set her straight. She was told not to cackle, but you are who you are.
Well, she doesn't have an earpiece in her ear telling her word for word for word for word what to say. Maybe she does. And maybe it's saying, laugh and look like
you can take the trash
moron
out of the dumpster, but it's still trash.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh. Hey, my brothers and sisters. This is her.
I feel sorry for those people.
This is her. This is the true Kamala Harris.
But those people didn't say, they're just getting played and they're like going along. I guess that's how Democrats are. They don't care that their candidate's playing her.
They don't care if one day she wants fracking, the next day she doesn't. They don't care if one day she wants taxes on tips, and one day she doesn't. They don't care if one day she wants a secure border, and the next day she wants to open it wider than it's ever been before. They don't blink an eye. They don't care. They don't get it. They don't pay attention. This right here at this podium is the real Kamala Harris, people, not the woman that we saw at the debate that was given every single question ahead of time and had 50 days to prepare for it. She, like I said, she was in dress rehearsal. She knew what was coming. She knew exactly what they were going to say. She knew that they were going to fact check Donald Trump and not her. It was scripted. Anybody with half of a brain can memorize something for 90 minutes. You're going to be on stage. You need to memorize, especially when she had that amount of time. That was not who she was. This right here is the same woman that we have seen since she was a DA, an AG, and a senator, going all the way back. These are her true colors right here, this goofball.
Well, I can tell you, all those people cheering were probably bussed in from a TGI Fridays who were half drunk. That's why they were cheering.
But, I mean, you already know what you're going to get when it comes to Kamala, and we should not be surprised. And the Trump campaign is doing everything they can to show how she's a liar, to show how she'll say one thing and then do another. Look at this ad that the Trump campaign is showing now, just to show. Linda says she is batshit crazy. So she's drunk. I personally think we should go ahead and let loose. Yeah, I get it. I'm not going to say the name. The other thing is look at the Trump team with this campaign ad of comparing who she is and what she's done. Now, national media won't do it. People, you cannot watch local or national media and think that you're going to get something that's fair when it comes to news, when it comes to politics, because you're just not. Here it is, but the Trump campaign doing something absolutely amazing.
My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to startup small businesses.
But we've got to increase the corporate tax rate. State taxes are going to have to go up.
I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people.
I will snatch their patent so that we will take over. The question is, do you have the will to do it? I have the will to do it.
The cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people.
Bidenomics is working. It's working. It's a term we're very proud of, I must tell you.
I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies. Now, I will tell you the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you.
It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it's hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country.
I will not ban fracking. I'm in favor of banning fracking. It has to be legislative, but yes, and this is something I've taken on in California.
He's such a lying, evil person.
When it came to the Proud Boys, a militia, the former president said, stand back and stand by.
But you have to go home now. We have to have peace.
These dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again.
Name a favorite candidate. It used to be Joe Biden. Support Ms. Harris. So that is what we are going to do.
What I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country. One who believes in what is possible, one who brings a sense of optimism.
We all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
Wow.
How dare we?
Tim Walz and I are both gun owners.
Wow.
We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
Belittling and name calling. Let's turn the page.
Don't you find some of their stuff to just be plain weird?
There's no better video that this country should be seeing than that. And I don't care if you're a Democrat, you need to see that. Then if you still choose to vote for Kamala Harris, that's your prerogative. We're a free country. You can thank the patriots who provide the freedom for you. But you can't look at yourself in a mirror, honestly, and with any integrity, character, or any sort of maturity and responsibility and feel as if you're voting for the right person for the job. That is one big lie.
Does anyone else think it's so funny that her big thing is let's turn the page? That's become her shtick lately. Turn the page. Even Tim Walz's wife is like doing this, big, skit now anytime that she has the opportunity to talk, and she does this big thing. Let's turn the page. Let's turn the page. Well, what we need to remember is that right now, our playbook is the Biden-Harris playbook. It's this joke of Bidenomics. So when she talks about wanting to turn the page, she acts as though she has not been in office for the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. It's and people are, I guess, slow to remember that she is the sitting vice president. We cannot forget that. Joe Biden is still president. They have been a team. They have, like you just saw here, she goes and she sings the praises of Bidenomics and all of the wonderful things that her and Joe Biden have done. She still claims that he is the best president that we've ever had in the history of the United States. She has been the most disliked, unappreciated, and disrespected vice president that we have ever had. So when she says turn the page, I say, amen, sisters and brothers. Let's turn that page and let's go back to Donald Trump's playbook.
I feel sorry for Democrats that support her. I do, because I have a black female friend who thinks that she is great. My black female friend, I watched her experience racism, but she's got it all mixed up in her emotions, where she really thinks that this woman is great because of the color of her skin and no other reason. And it's the sorority sister thing, which is sad. But all you can do is pray and hope for the best. The one thing that doesn't happen is the media ever giving Donald Trump a fair shot. We know that. And now I don't care anymore, because Americans are starting to wake up. Not as fast as I wish that they did, but they're starting to wake up. And we showed you the 100% positive coverage for Kamala Harris on ABC and NBC, 93% negative for Donald Trump. But these here are the kind of stories that you don't see about Donald Trump. And there's hundreds of them, maybe thousands of what Donald Trump does to help people, white, black, young, old, north, south, east, west. And I appreciate Megan sending me this. She said it made her cry. But we show you this, another example of who Donald Trump is and why anybody would think that Donald Trump is this mean guy. We know why, because they don't want him in office, because he is going to clean up the crap that is going on. Just check out this sentimental video.
Trump does not want you to see this.
Yes, sir. Can you read it out loud? Yeah. Sure. It says, Dear Liam, happy 8th birthday. Mrs. Trump and I hope you enjoy this special occasion surrounded by the love of your family and friends. We are so encouraged by the strength and determination you have shown throughout your young life and send our love and best wishes to you as you continue to fight. Remember, you are never alone, and we are keeping you in our thoughts and prayers for continued health, for continued care and good health. May God bless you and your family. Stay strong. Sincerely. Can you tell me who signed that? He knew it was your birthday coming up? What do you say to him?
Thank you.
Oh.
I love you.
What else do you say?
Thank you.
Oh my
Incredible.
gosh.
It's not just Trump.
Yeah.
Mainstream media will never show you this.
No, they
side
won't. And
either.
guess
He
what?
doesn't like to brag
Kamala
about it,
Harris
but he
did
does.
that with anybody, it would be everywhere. You can't trust the national media. You know what you can do. You trust shows like ours, and we show you the truth. We're about facts, not fiction. We're about facts first and then feelings. And when the facts come and then produce that kind of a feeling, there's no better thing that you can possibly do. Yeah, that man, Donald Trump, is so evil. That man, Donald Trump, is going to be so horrible if and when he is president again. That man is going to run this country into the ground. Bullshit. You know what the truth is. And the national media will do anything and everything they can. The left and also the deep state, anything they can. And as we saw yesterday again, even try to unalive the man to keep him out of the White House because he's going to be so bad for this country. We know what Donald Trump is coming to do, and it's to save everybody.
And this is just one of so many wonderful things that he's done for kids, for children, for adults. I mean, he just does so much for people. He loves people. He truly, truly does. But you know what? He doesn't go out and try to show the world, you know, that because this is just who he is. He's this person on a daily basis. So he's not trying to pat himself on the back. And you know, if somebody has a video of Kamala Harris doing something wonderful for a child or a child in need, I would love to see it. Going to a spice shop that her best friend owns, you know, and meeting kids there does not count. Just so everybody knows. But, you know, just take a minute and just look at what a great guy he is. You know, he doesn't get up on stage when he's talking to the American people about what he wants to bring to the table and what he's done in the past. He doesn't talk about all of these things, and he doesn't try to make himself look like, you know, this bowl of mush, because we don't need a bowl of mush leading our country. We need somebody that is able to be both, to have compassion and empathy for people and to care about the American people, but to get up there and lead. And it's not a joke. It's not a game. It's not a movie. Someone needs to get up, show up, and take action. That's who we need as the president of the United States, not somebody that gets up and giggles and lies and tries to, you know, change your accent from state to state. That is not who we need. We need a commander that can take charge.
We're about truth. We're about facts, not feelings. Facts, not fiction. Getting the truth out there. Here's the thing. If America wanted somebody else other than Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, that's fine. All we have tried to do is make sure that we have become and are becoming and will continue to be the source for truth in all the stories that you're not going to see on the old news networks that people really don't watch anymore. If you didn't know, local news and national news, because I know and I have connections, the ratings are down. people who work at these stations don't even, they're scared. They're all looking for other opportunities because they know that people in power won't let them tell the truth. And I don't blame the individuals. It's the GMs. It's the people who are making decisions. It's the producers. It's those people who are deciding things. We all know who Donald Trump is if we open up our mind. And another attempt on his life yesterday. The information coming out about the whistleblower and the information that Kamala Harris had before the event. The moderators admitting they were only going to fact check Donald Trump. The judges with the faked up charges that we have seen to try to keep everything going on Donald Trump. The fake trials that we have had. The fake sexual charges brought against in kangaroo courts to try to get Donald Trump to not run. That stuff is there. But guess what? We're getting closer and closer to November 5th. The main thing is what happens with all the illegals and their opportunities to vote. Will they be allowed to vote? Will there be fair elections? Will there be opportunities to really keep things on the up and up when it comes to the election? And also so important to vote because the House and Senate, both sitting there, those are two opportunities for conservatives. And the American way of life as we have known it to try to continue. If you want 4 more years of what we have had, holy shit, that's your prerogative. But I think everybody knows, once again, when they look at themselves, we're not better off than we were 4 years ago, not even close.
And let's be clear. America did not want Kamala Harris. America wanted Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Okay, so we need to remember that Kamala Harris was not voted in to run for this election by the people. She was not. They did not do a redo primary to try to get America to vote her back in, because I think that if it was left up to the American people, even the liberal progressive loons, I don't think that they would have voted her in either. She got in. She had the delegates. They were afraid to lose money. That's the bottom line. They did not want to lose the money that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris had coming in. So, to your point, Vic, if you didn't want Donald Trump or Kamala Harris to be running for this election, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. She was not voted in by the people. So remember that. There's a reason for that, folks, that she was not voted in by the people.
Well, we love doing what we do here. We appreciate you guys liking, subscribing, sharing the show, letting people know what we do. We're always looking for advertisers, donations you can do on our page. If you want to advertise or know somebody, the companies that we have appreciated that. If you want to make a donation, you can just go to cancelthisshow.com and click on our donate button. Anything helps. I mean, any small thing helps us. We do a fantastic job here. We have a great marketing company. We put our information on all social media platforms every single day. We are live Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays right now from 9 to 10. We'd love to be live every day if that was a possibility as well. Also, we want to thank the advertisers and sponsors that we have. Complete Auto Body Repair, the best, and I mean the best car service when it comes to improving your vehicle A to Z, from the front to the back to the inside, the outside, the tires, you name it. They get you in, they get you out. They don't nickel dime you. I take my cars there, take my girlfriend's cars there. 314-731-7999, completeab.com, completeab.com, and let them know that you appreciate them advertising on cancelthisshow.com. When it comes to any sort of a car accident, motorcycle accident, trucking accident, you use the guy who I've used twice. I got hit twice, and I was shocked at the amount of settlements that I got and how quickly I got in the amount of those settlements. 314-619-4230. It's David Gregory. You can reach him at conservativeinjurylawyer.com, conservativeinjurylawyer.com. He does all cases, but he promotes himself as conservativeinjurylawyer.com. He's not afraid to call himself a conservative injury attorney because he's like, Vic, there just aren't many. He's like, we need people who are not only fighting for people when it comes to accidents, but also freedom of speech, freedom of religion. He also was 7 for 7 for people keeping their jobs because they refused to get that shot in their arm. David Gregory, he's also Missouri State Senator now. Congratulations to David Gregory. He'll be on the show soon as well, but I used him twice and he was absolutely amazing. And if you call Dave and when you get your settlement back, he's going to take less if you say cancel this. to know that, he's reaching the right people on this show. And we're grateful for Dave's support. Wenty's in the Chesterfield Valley. Stop by Wenty's, I think at least once or twice over the weekend. Hung out with my friend Ben. Work hard, play hard. Had 2 different foods, I think, maybe. Anyway, the food's great. You guys know that. We go there.
Tomorrow.
We have a lunch tomorrow. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, tomorrow's the 17th. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wenty's in the Chesterfield Valley. Wenty's out in wine country in Defiance. Check them out. Good times, great food. People just don't go to Wenty's once. You always go back to Wenty's. If you're grilling, you use the charcoal from our good friend Jonathan Heslip. It's Rockwood charcoal, 100% Missouri hardwood. It is outstanding. It breaks apart in your hand. And also Jonathan's Sandwich Shop. I haven't tasted a sandwich shop better than it. Capriati's. It's in Rock Hill, just off Manchester Road. They've got the Wagyu beef. They've also got the roasted turkeys that they roast overnight. Come in early, slice and dice them for your sandwiches during the day as well. Their catering, though, is absolutely amazing. Check it out. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Capriati's, 9532 Manchester Road as well. And when it comes to real estate, you look no further than Megan Livingstone. Once again, Megan Livingstone. She's going to be honest with you. She's going to be direct with you, but she keeps that positive approach. So you're not all over the place. You're not up and down and all around and changing your ideas. She sets a plan from the get-go. She stays positive with you. Says, hey, we have put together our plan. Now we act on that plan. And in this day and age, when it comes to real estate, you need somebody like Megan. 314-249-1708, 314-249-1708. You're not locked in by giving her a call, but you can start that conversation. You can also reach her at megan.livingstone@exprealty.com. And of course, we're always looking for more advertisers and sponsors, and we appreciate you guys doing what you do with us in the show. And I just love doing what we do, Megan. This is what we're here to do on a daily basis.
And gosh, like I'm just sitting here, I'm all in the feels because we have just gotten, I don't even know how many just amazing compliments. And so thank you guys for all of your compliments, and thank you for your support, because we love you too. And you guys do a great job too. You guys entertain us when you guys talk amongst each other on the chat line, and you guys just send great information day after day. So thank you to you guys as well.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow for Cancel This. Great job, Projo, with all the videos for Projo and Megan Marie Moret. I'm Vic Faust. Thanks again. Continue to bring and let us know about those stories and ideas that we should be covering. We're back tomorrow at 9 a.m. live. And of course, you can catch all of our content on all of our social media platforms every day, all throughout the day. That does it for us for the September 16th show, the fastest hour plus of podcasting and news headlines. CancelTheShow.com. We'll see you tomorrow.